Hello again. This is the second part of the suitcase, vintage style suitcase with an album drawer tutorial. And in part 2, we will be making the base of the album, and hopefully we will be in time, and we will make the drawer too, the pull-out drawer. Alright, so let's get started. Currently what we will make is the covers, the spine, the outer wall of the drawer, including these, and this separational piece. Okay, so for the covers of the mini album, you will need the following chipboard pieces. Again, I'm using 1/16 thickness medium weight chipboard. So you will need two, which measure 6 by 6 inches. The separational piece will measure 6 by 5 5/8. It will be in the middle here. And for the spine of the mini album, you will need a chipboard which measures 6 by 2 1/4 inch, and one of the outside walls measures 6 by 1/2 inch. Now, how to put it all together? Logically, it will be located on the cardstock in this way, like this, and then this separational piece will be between these two. Okay, so this is for you to build up the picture of what we will be doing now in your head. So let's begin. I already connected two pieces of cardstock which measure 8 inches by 12. The second piece also is currently 12 inches, but we will trim it down to the size we need. So let's start to glue these down. Not to make mistakes and glue these down in the straight manner, I will only mark the guidelines 1 inch from the bottom, okay, and 1 inch from the left side, like this. Maybe just a little bit longer line here. Okay, so let's take our chipboard pieces and start gluing them down to the base cardstock. What I'm doing is the following. I apply only from one side score tape on every chipboard piece, and the rest of the surface I cover with the wet glue. Yeah, here, sorry. The score tape ensures that the chipboard piece, once I attach it to the cardstock, stays at the same place, and I don't need more than this. So for the rest of the piece, I'm using the regular wet glue. All right. Oop. Okay, like this. One. Now I need to take the spinal piece, and guys, we need to leave the space between the pieces, to leave the space of about 1/8 of an inch. So I will be using my ruler here. This space is 1/8 of an inch, so you can use any comfortable way for you to leave that space too. Now comes the outer wall of the drawer. Okay, and again I'm using the ruler. Okay, and the closing piece is the back cover of the album. Now we have it all glued down, and we can take the trimmer and trim the excess paper here, leaving 1 inch. So I'm leaving 1 inch and trimming all the rest. Okay, great. Now what we need to do is the following. First of all, we need to attach this piece here and here, yeah. And for doing that, we need a structure strip, which will be 6 inches long. Let's see if I have one ready from the spare ones. I see that I do not. Okay. So I will cut a new one, squirt in the middle, and apply the score tape. Let's fold it and burnish, and not like this. Trim the edges, the corners. I always like to do that just to give it a more finished look. All right, now let's do it this way. Okay, I will attach it here first, just to the very end of the chipboard piece, to the very edge. So it's a little bit shorter, but it's not a problem. It will be okay. Great, and now we'll remove it, and again we will attach this chipboard piece just on top of the outer wall of the drawer in this manner. Okay, just on top. If you see from the video, it's really aligned with the bottom piece here. Okay, like this. What else we need to do is to add another structure strip to this side. And I will be using another 6 by 1 inch structure strip. Burnish it again, and again we'll trim the corners. Oh, here, just this, I don't like it. Great, now we can go on. So this piece we will attach just here in the middle and then open. Ensure that it's really centered. Okay, like this. So it starts to get shape, right? We don't need the structure strips for this part because the hidden hinge binding of our album will be here. This is the piece actually that I already prepared. I will give you the measurements and the scoring marks just in about a minute, but let's go on with this thing. In order to wrap it all in a good way, we need to make several cuts here. We'll start from the bottom like this, just in the center of this 1 1/8 inch space. I'm making a cut in the following way. The next cut at the bottom I'm making here. Okay, now from the top, just the very same thing here and here. Okay, perfect. And now the corners of the whole cover, I'm just trimming it like this, leaving about 1/16 of an inch from the corner to the cut line. The same from all of the 4 sides. Okay, now let's apply the score tape. And how we will apply it, let's think. I need to recall what I did in the original first Suitcase album. Thanks God it's still quite fresh in my head. Okay, so 2 pieces here, 1 here, and here I am applying score tape on the outer edge of the cardstock cover. Like this and like this on the little flaps here in the middle. Now I flip this over, apply the score tape on the cardstock, and on the back cover too, like this and like this. Okay, so oh, we forgot one thing here, here, and here. Right now, let's burnish it good to ensure the good stick. Okay, now we are ready to wrap it up. Again, let's first train the paper to wrap the way we need it to wrap, and only then we'll remove the backing and we will wrap it up like this. Now this side, the longer one. Okay, now just fold the tiny corners inside and wrap this side. Now let's burnish it from the sides to make it look really pretty. Now let's go on. Continue with this side. Okay, the flaps. Right. Now the bottom one. Okay. And what is left are these flaps. One and two. And three. Okay, seems like we are done with that. Great, let's see what we have. Oh, we can bend this part too. Okay, so this is how it will look like. Now what we need to do, we need to cover the sides of this separating panel. So we will need some more of the structure strips too, which will measure 5 and 5/8 of an inch. Let's see again if I have several ready-made. I don't. 5 and 5/8 by 1. 2 of these. This one is 5.5. No, not good. 5.5 is not good. Okay, so I will take a new one, One should be 6 inches for the outer side, and one should be 5 5/8. Great. Let's score in the middle. 1 and 2 and 3. Okay. Now we need to apply some score tape on these. Okay, and fold. Here comes the third one. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's start with the side ones. Take your time here and align properly. Okay, like this. Now burnish and do the same from the second side. Okay, great. Now here, same thing. Okay. And on the outer edge too. Why this one is so small? It's small. Isn't it 6 inches? No, it is smaller. Ooh. I will rectify the mistake. I hope you are okay here, and this strip really measures 6 inches. I might have cut the corners too much. Before gluing something down, guys, always measure first. Try it on. This is how you save yourself from making mistakes in the time-consuming projects. This is something I have already learned from my own mistakes. Okay, let's try this on. Yep, now it's fine. Center and stick down. Okie dokie. This one is ready. Great. Great. What we need to do next is to glue down the hidden hinge binding system. For the hidden hinge binding system, you will need a piece of cardstock which measures let me write it down for you. Which measures 5 5/8 of an inch by 9 1/4. Okay, this is the piece of cardstock that you will need for the hidden hinge binding system. The scoring marks, will be mentioned in the description box for this video, and on my blog post as well. I will give you the link, so I will be not wasting time on this, and I will quickly put this together so that we can go on with our tutorial. Let's do it quickly. Really, those videos taking eternity. They're really long. Even if I'm trying to make certain pieces and parts beforehand, it doesn't always help. Okay, 3 hinges for 3 pages are done. Another 3 to go. Okay. Like this. And the 6th one. Here. Great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Everything is perfect. Okay. What I would like to mention and give special attention to is the application of the score tape to the flaps here that will be glued down to the covers of the album. Try to use not the first of all, you need to use something really strong adhesive, and if you are using a wet glue, also bear it in mind. If you are using the score tape, maybe you should use the 1/2 inch score tape and not a 1/4 inch score tape, and apply it really to the very end of each of the flaps. This is important because once you glue it down, it needs to stick down really good here between the spine and the cover, because this is a really delicate place where our album will be always folded and unfolded, and we want to keep it strong in those places. So just keep it in mind. Now, before you glue this down, you see that even if we have the hidden hinge binding here, we have certain holes on top and at the bottom. So try to use just small pieces of the construction strips leftovers that you have to cover those up in the following manner. Also stick it just to the very middle in this way. Okay. Like this, and the same here to the very middle of it, like this. Okay. so now you can attach your hidden hinge binding. Oh, and before you do that, I always like to again taper the corners to ensure the good attaching of the pages at the later stage of building an album. Sometimes people forget to do that, and then they have to do that once the whole piece is already attached, and it's so not convenient. Okay, so let's align this in the center the best way we can. Okay, use these fold lines as your guidelines. What I do, I don't remove all the score tape at once. I remove it only from the central part, which are the pages, and I leave them backing on the flaps by now. Okay, I think I will have to stand. Okay, like this, and we'll burnish. Great. Now we are ready to glue down the flaps. Okay, like this, and burnish really good first, and then you can make the fold. The same from the other side. Okay, like this, and burnish, and then fold. Okay, the next thing that we will need are 2 additional pieces of chipboard. These are the measurements: 5 by 5 and 5/8 of an inch by 1.5, and we will be making now the side outer walls of the drawer. In order to attach them to the base that we have here, we will need 2 additional pieces of cardstock, which measure 6 and 5/8 of an inch by 2.5. And I drew here 2 guidelines so that I know where exactly to glue down the chipboard. You can either eyeball it or draw the guidelines too. So what we do is this: we glue down the chipboard pieces to the cardstock. Like this, and we have a 1/2 inch border from all of the 4 sides. Okay, What we do now is we trim the edges, the corners, like this. And again, we trim the paper first. Okay. The same with the second piece. Alright, but the score tape will be applied not from this side, but from the outer side. And why is that? Because we will be attaching it in the following manner, like this, to form the walls. Okay, this is how the whole thing has to be done. Let's apply the score tape. Okay, like this, and here. The same thing applies to both of the pieces. Oh, only this flap will be glued in and not out, like this. Okay, so not to forget it, maybe start with the flap that you will wrap in, and to all of the other sides apply the score tape from the outer side. Like this and like this. Great. This step can be a little bit tricky, and you really need to assure that you stick those walls down straight. Let's think first how it's better to do that. I would suggest to do the following. First of all, you need to leave about 1/8 of an inch from the outer edge of the back cover of the album. So when you glue this down, when you glue this wall down, mind that. And also you need this corner to get just inside the fold line here. Take your time while doing that, guys. It's really, really, really important. Okay, do it like this. Okay, and then burnish. Okay, this wall is already at its place. Now the second one. We need to do the same, and let me just measure something right now so that I will be peaceful about something else that I'm thinking about. Yeah, it's okay. So 1/8 of an inch from this side too. Let's do it. Just into the fold line and leaving 1/8 of an inch from the edge. Burnish. Okay. Now the tiny flaps should be glued down to the outer wall that we have here. And again, mind the 1/8 of an inch space from the border. Oh, there can be no mistakes in the video. In the tutorial video, I mean. Okay, like this. So far, so good. My hands are shaking. Okay, now this side. One-eighth of an inch. Yes. Yes, I think we did great here. Now, we need to do the following. Let me think about it once again. Okay, I think first we already can cover this side with a designer paper or whatever paper you will want to use for the inner sides, and we will prepare two, yeah, I think even more, 4 structure strips for the sides, inner sides of the walls. So just give me a sec to do that. 5 5/8 of an inch by 1, 2, and 3, and 5.5 again. Just keeps on coming. And another one. Okay. Now let me think. Okay, this wall, to make it pretty, we will need a piece which measures slightly bigger than, yeah, slightly bigger than 5.5 by, let's say, 1.5 to 5.5 by 1.5. Okay, I already can glue that down. Can I? Yeah, I think I can. Because once we close everything, it will be really hard to get to that part. I remember that from my first suitcase. So I will be covering it right now, like this. Okay. And the structure strips are, okay, now it looks pretty. The structure strips will be applied here, and from the other side too. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Great. Again, the score tape. 1, 2, you will need at least 1 roll of score tape, by the way. 1 roll of 1.25 of an inch score tape, and just several pieces of 1/2 an inch. Okay, like this. And fold and burnish. gold and burnish. Okay. And that thing that I like to do, great. Okay, let's think now. This thing will be applied here. Okay, so I will leave the top structure strips for later, and will apply only the bottom ones right now. Just give me a second, I will apply that, and then I will show you what I did, because the lid here prevents me from showing it online. This is what I did. I glued down the structure strip on the bottom inner part, and I will be applying the other one here. It may seem like a double work because we already have those hinges, but believe me, this will give more sturdiness to your whole drawer piece. Okay, so now what you need to do is to remove the tape backing from the flap, which is left. And here is the tricky part too, because you still need to leave the 1/8 of an inch from the edge, and you still need to bear in mind that this corner needs to be really inside the fold line. Okay, so this is what I did. Let's see if it's straight. Right now it is. Hopefully it will stay this way. Let's burnish. Okay, and do the same from the other side. Maybe you will need to apply just a little bit of strength to push this part inside. Okay, so I'm currently pushing a little bit. First to measure where it needs to be. Okay, seems okay. Now I will remove the tape backing and we'll glue this down. Okay. And burnish. All right. The house for our drawer is ready, almost. You see now it doesn't look pretty because we still need the structure strips to be attached from this and this side. So this is what I will be doing now. Since we have the opening of only 1.5 an inch, this can be tricky. Okay, one side is done like this. Now the second side. Guys, we are in a good pace. doing this. Ooh. Okay, to the corner, ups, to the corner and to the corner. Okay, ready. Now it's ready. Now it's ready and it looks nice too. Right here I see that I didn't quite succeed to push it to the very corner. You see there is a little bit of the, oh, what about the focus? A little bit, a little defect here. But I hope it will look better once the whole piece is covered with the paper and the drawer is inside. Anyways, what we need to do next is to build the drawer to go inside the opening here. So let's do that. For the drawer, where are the pieces that we need? Here. Okay, so first of all, the base and the walls. I hope you can see the measurements which are written on all of the chipboard pieces. So this is how it will look like. Okay, and this will be the covering piece that we will attach later. We will wrap it with cardstock and we will glue it down to the drawer later. Just keep that aside. For now, these are the measurements. Okay, since we will be gluing all of the pieces to the cardstock base, let's see what the cardstock should measure. How much? Oh, how big the cardstock should be. Oh, my English. Let's see. Yeah. About 8 3/4 by 8 3/4. Okay, and again, let's make the guidelines of about 1/2 inch from two sides, bottom and left side, so that we know where exactly to glue down the pieces. Okay, and 1 3/8 inch from the bottom guideline, like this. So this is 1 3/8, and this is 1/2 inch. Okay. Now I definitely know where to stick it down. I will start with this one, with the central piece. Okay, somewhere here. Something tells me this will not be enough. Sorry guys. Let's do it once again. Not a good try. Let's make it 9 3/4, not 8. I'm so sorry. 9 3/4. I will use this one later on, maybe somewhere. Okay, again, 1/2 inch and 1 3/8 of an inch, and again 1/2 inch and 1 3/8. Now it's okay. Why it doesn't feel okay? I know why. Because again I made a mistake. I'm getting tired. Please, please, please forgive me. Again, this is supposed to be a tutorial, but we are human, we make mistakes. From the guideline that I drew, I need to make another guideline of 1 3/8 of an inch, and I did that from the very edge of the cardstock, which was not right. Okay, now one, and 2, leave 1/16 of an inch between the 2 parts. The same applies to all 4 of the walls, the spacing of 1/16 of an inch. I mean, okay, like this, and let's go on. Okay. The last one. Okay. Here from these sides we even have more than we need, so I will trim just a little bit, leaving about 1/2 inch. Okay. Great. What we do next is this. In the similar way that we covered the base of the suitcase, we will now cover the drawer. I think think we can cut even more. I left too much. Okay. And we need, of course, the structure strips for the inside. Let me see. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the score tape here on the outer sides of the cardstock. We will wrap it later. Okay. Burnish, burnish. And burnish and burnish. Let's use the score tape this time. We'll try if it works better than the glue. Maybe it will, maybe it will not. We will see. Okay. Wrap these inside, form the good corner. Well, I wouldn't say that this works better than the glue. I don't know. I don't really like it. Maybe I'm just really I don't like it. Guys, I'm sorry. Ooh, really strong adhesive. Shaved the whole layer of chipboard. Okay, I don't know. How will we do that? Or actually, I know why it happened. This thing moved. Yeah. This side moved a little bit while I was gluing it down. So I think I will trim. I hope you did it right. But in my case, it just moved a little bit. And it prevents me from forming a perfect corner from this side. I will be trying to do that again. Yeah, like this, it looks better. Let's try it once again. Here, I mean, this corner should be perfect, and in the previous case it was not. Okay. What I like in wet glue, that it also gives you time to alter things in case you didn't do them right. And the score tape, once you glue it down, it's there. Nothing to change. Okay, like this. And okay, let's see. Maybe score tape is not so bad. I will add a bit of the wet glue here. And let's do it. It's form a perfect corner. Okay, I hope it's working. Now to the side flaps to hold everything together. Okay, let's start here. And here. And burnish. Guys, sorry for a little break. I had a phone call. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking care of the flaps of the other side of the drawer. The first side was already done. And I'm almost done with the drawer itself. Okay, like this. What we need to do now is to add the structure strips to the corners and to the sides. So for the corners we need 1 3/8 of an inch, 1 3/8, 1 3/8 by 1, of course, scored in the middle, and with the score tape applied. Okay, and for the sides 5.5 by 1. Let's see, 5.5. I need 4 as well. How long are these? Several. Yeah, these fit fine. So we will score them. And quickly apply the score tape. Okay, fold these. Can just trim the edges a little bit. Your whole project will look a lot nicer if you do that. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so now first the small structure strips to go in the corners here. Okay, and burnish nicely. And from this side. This one. Okay, and now the sides. Once you are done with all of the structure strips, you can wrap up the top flaps. Smaller, just a tiny bit. Okay, to fit more perfectly, you might be doing the same. I don't know, again, measure first and then stick down. This one can be even smaller. Okay, guys, we are almost done. All the rest will be just a piece of cake to embellish and make the pages and to cover the inside of the drawer. Everything is so easy. All the hard parts are already behind. Okay, so let's wrap it and wrap it and wrap it and see how it looks from the corners. Seems okay to me. Okay, let's glue it down and burnish. And burnish from the top, and the same thing from all of the four sides. And like this. Okay, now let's try. Oh, fits perfectly, guys, perfectly. This is what I was afraid of, that I will do that online and the drawer will not go inside, but it did. Yeah, I'm so happy. Okay, so what we need to do next, I distressed all of the edges of the album cover and the sides of the drawer before covering it with designer paper. Oh, the last thing that we need to do is to cover this piece with some more cardstock. I might be using this one that I messed up before. So let's say it will be 3 inches by, I don't know, let's see, 3 inches by 7 1/8. Okay, I will cover it up. Like this, somewhere in the middle. And cut the sides, the corners, sorry, like this. And again, apply some score tape. Where is the? Here it is. Apply some score tape. Okay, and wrap it. To this piece you will attach the drawer pull, and only then you will attach it with the help of the score tape to the drawer itself, like this, okay? And the pull will be here. Okay, so far it looks okay. The only defect that I have here is at this side, because it's not quite straight. Really bothers me, but already there is nothing to do. So I will leave it like this. I hope you were able to make it better. Okay, so we will continue in the next part of the tutorial, which will include the process of building a page. I will give you the measurements for the page, which looks like this, and we will attach all the metal pieces, and I will show you how to make the this rubber band closure. Okay, and we are almost done with this project. I hope you are enjoying the tutorial, and stay tuned for the next part. Thank you. Bye bye.